Welcome to your weather update for November 16, 2025. As we move deeper into the heart of November, the nation is experiencing a remarkable variety of weather events, each more dramatic than the last. From coast to coast, Americans are witnessing the power and unpredictability of nature firsthand. Across the U.S., we're seeing a dramatic mix of weather as autumn gives way to winter. The vibrant colors of fall are quickly being replaced by the stark whites and grays of early snow. And in some places, the transition is happening almost overnight. This rapid change is leaving many communities scrambling to adapt. This week, record heat, powerful storms, and a potential major system in the heartland are all in play. It's a week where you might see people in shorts in one state and bundled up in heavy coats just a few hundred miles away. The extremes are not just unusual, they're historic. A persistent heat dome is keeping the south and central U.S. unusually warm for this time of year, with temperatures soaring well above seasonal averages. Meanwhile, storms rolling in from the Pacific and cold fronts dropping down from Canada are stirring up trouble in other regions, creating a patchwork of weather hazards across the country. California faces heavy rain and flood risks, with streets in Los Angeles already seeing significant flooding. Emergency crews are on alert as rivers rise and flash flood warnings are issued. At the same time, the Northeast is getting an early taste of winter, with a mix of rain, gusty winds, and accumulating snow, making travel hazardous and prompting school closures in some areas. The clash of warm, moist air from the Gulf and cold, dense air from the north is fueling everything from intense thunderstorms to the possibility of tornadoes. Meteorologists are closely monitoring these volatile conditions as the risk for severe weather outbreaks remains high, especially in the Central Plains and Midwest. Millions will experience impactful weather, flooding in Los Angeles, snow in upstate New York, and severe storms in Texas. These events are not just inconveniences, they can disrupt daily life, damage property, and threaten safety. Communities are urged to stay vigilant and heed local advisories. Staying informed is your best defense. Whether you're checking your phone for the latest alerts, tuning into local news, or receiving emergency notifications, being aware of changing conditions can make all the difference. Preparation and quick action are key to staying safe. We'll walk you through the major events from coast to coast and preview what could be an even bigger storm at month's end. Meteorologists are already tracking a developing system that could bring widespread impacts, so it's important to keep an eye on the forecast as we head toward Thanksgiving. Let's dive in and see what's happening. We'll break down the latest data, highlight the areas most at risk, and offer tips on how you can prepare for whatever Mother Nature has in store. The weather story this week is about extremes, heat, storms, and rapid change. It's a reminder of how quickly conditions can shift, and how important it is to stay ready for anything. Understanding these patterns is key to being prepared. So grab your umbrella, check your emergency kit, and let's get started on this week's wild weather journey. Over the next 7 to 10 days, the United States will experience a dramatic shift in weather patterns as two major storm systems are set to sweep across the country. These systems are poised to bring a variety of impactful weather, from heavy rain and snow to strong winds and even the threat of severe storms. Let's break down what's coming and what it means for you. The first storm is already making its presence felt, slamming into California with torrential rain and pushing eastward. As it moves, it will also bring gusty winds and the first significant snowfall of the season to parts of the Northeast. Residents in these regions should prepare for rapidly changing conditions, including possible travel disruptions and power outages. Hot on its heels, a second, potentially more powerful storm is forecast to develop over the central U.S. next week. This system could bring a dangerous mix of heavy snow, blizzard conditions, and severe thunderstorms, especially across the plains and Midwest. The risk of flash flooding and damaging winds will be elevated, so it's important to stay alert as forecasts evolve. These storms are the result of a dramatic clash between lingering autumn warmth and the arrival of much colder air from the north. This battle of the seasons often leads to volatile weather, with rapid swings in temperature and precipitation. In California, expect periods of heavy rain that could lead to localized flooding, especially in burn scar areas, along with accumulating snow in the higher elevations. Meanwhile, the Northeast will contend with blustery winds and the season's first widespread snow, making for slick roads and reduced visibility. By midweek, a deep trough in the jet stream will carve out over the Rockies, setting the stage for a new storm to form. This system will tap into moisture from the Gulf of Mexico, fueling heavy precipitation and increasing the risk of severe weather outbreaks as it moves east. Looking even further ahead, meteorologists are closely monitoring signs of a possible polar vortex disruption later in November. If this occurs, it could send a surge of Arctic air plunging southward, setting the stage for a much colder and snowier start to December than we've seen in recent years. For many, this could mean breaking out the heavy coats and snow shovels earlier than usual as winter weather arrives in full force. Cities that have seen mild conditions so far may be in for a wintry wake-up call. So, while we keep a close eye on the immediate threats from these upcoming storms, we're also watching the long-range outlook for signs of persistent cold and snow. The next few weeks could bring some of the most dynamic weather of the season. Stay tuned as we continue to track these evolving systems and break down what you can expect in your area. We'll keep you updated with the latest forecasts and safety tips. One thing is certain, big changes are on the way, and it's time to get ready for whatever Mother Nature has in store. While storms hit elsewhere, the south and central U.S. are in the grip of a rare November heat wave. High pressure is sending temperatures soaring. Texas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas are seeing highs in the 80s and 90s. Even the Midwest is feeling the warmth, with places like Rockford, Illinois, hitting record highs. But this heat is brief. A cold front will drop temperatures by 30 degrees in some areas within a day. The heat wave peaks this weekend, threatening records that have stood for decades. Residents should stay hydrated and cautious, even in November. This warm air is also fueling the upcoming storm system, setting the stage for a major clash. The heat dome won't last. Colder air is on the move. Enjoy the warmth, but be ready for a dramatic change. A powerful storm is on the way. On the west coast, a powerful Pacific storm is drenching California. An atmospheric river is delivering several inches of rain from Sacramento to San Diego in just 36 hours. Flooding is a major concern, especially in urban areas. Roads may become impassable. The Sierra Nevada will see over a foot of snow, great for ski resorts and water supply. While the rain is needed, it's coming fast and could cause hazards. Residents should stay alert for warnings and avoid flooded roads. This storm kicks off California's rainy season in a big way. It's a classic example of how quickly West Coast weather can turn. Stay prepared for a wet and wintry weekend. The Northeast faces its own storm, with cold air dropping in from Canada. Most major cities will see rain and gusty winds, making for a raw, dreary weekend. Inland and higher elevations in Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, and upstate New York will get the first accumulating snow of the season. Snow totals will be light, just a coating to a couple of inches, but it's a clear sign winter is near. Winds could gust over 40 mph, causing minor travel delays. This fast-moving clipper system brings a quick burst of cold and snow. As the storm exits, colder air settles in across the region. It's a preview of bigger storms to come. Winter is knocking on the Northeast's door. All eyes are turning to the central U.S. next week as meteorologists track the development of a major storm system. This isn't just another passing front. Forecasters are watching a dynamic setup that could bring a wide range of hazardous weather to millions of people across the heartland. The ingredients are coming together for a significant event, and the impacts could be felt from the Rockies all the way to the Great Lakes and beyond. A deep, plunging jet stream trough will carve its way over Colorado by midweek, setting the stage for a powerful low-pressure system to rapidly intensify. By Wednesday, this system will be taking shape over the Rockies, drawing energy from the mountains and the atmosphere above. As the storm strengthens, it will pull in abundant moisture from the Gulf of Mexico, causing atmospheric pressure to plummet below 1,000 millibars, a clear sign of a potent system. This influx of warm, moist air will help fuel intense precipitation and increase the risk of severe weather. By Thursday, the storm will be on the move, tracking from Missouri up through Wisconsin. Along its path, it will unleash a variety of hazardous conditions. Severe thunderstorms and the threat of tornadoes in the southern plains, while the northern Midwest braces for heavy, wind-driven snow and possible blizzard conditions. the sharp contrast between warm, humid air surging northward and cold. Dense Canadian air plunging south will create a volatile environment. This clash of air masses is a classic recipe for explosive weather, with the potential for damaging winds, large hail, and even ice in some areas. The exact track of the storm will be crucial in determining who sees rain, who faces severe storms, and who gets buried under snow. Small shifts in the storm's path could mean the difference between a cold rain and a major snowstorm for many communities. Areas to the south and east of the storm's center should prepare for heavy rainfall, frequent lightning, and the risk of severe thunderstorms. Meanwhile, those to the north and west could see accumulating snow, icy roads, and hazardous travel conditions. From the Great Lakes all the way down to the Gulf Coast, communities should be on alert and start making preparations now. Weather warnings may be issued as the storm approaches, and it's important to stay informed and ready for rapidly changing conditions late next week. With its potential for widespread impacts, ranging from flooding rains and severe storms to heavy snow and ice, this could be the season's most impactful storm yet, and one that everyone in its path should take seriously. Next week's storm brings a real risk of severe weather. Damaging winds, hail, and tornadoes. Warm, moist Gulf air and strong lift will create an unstable atmosphere, especially in Texas and Oklahoma on Wednesday. Supercells could develop, bringing large hail and tornadoes. By Thursday, the threat shifts east into the deep south, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Texas. Damaging winds and heavy rain will be widespread, with flooding possible from East Texas to western Tennessee. Even cities as far north as Chicago and Indianapolis could see strong storms. Stay alert for warnings and be ready to act quickly. This is a multifaceted threat. Severe storms and flooding are both on the table. Beyond next week, meteorologists are watching for a sudden stratospheric warming event over the North Pole. This could disrupt the polar vortex, sending Arctic air south into the U.S. by December. If it happens, December could be the coldest in years for much of the country. The first blast of cold will likely hit the west, then spread eastward. This pattern could fuel more storms and increase the odds of a white Christmas. It's too early for specifics, but a wintry, active December looks likely. We'll be watching this long-range development closely. The holiday season could be colder and snowier than usual. With wild weather coast to coast, staying informed and prepared is crucial. Weather can change fast. Record heat one day, dangerous storms the next. Make sure you have multiple ways to get alerts: weather radios, smartphone apps, and local news. Know your evacuation routes for floods and your safe spots for tornadoes. Prepare your home and car for winter. Check heating, stock blankets, and keep emergency kits ready. If you're in the south, stay hydrated during the heat, but be ready for storms. The coming weeks will be active, with threats from storms and a possible polar vortex disruption. Stay aware, stay prepared, and look out for each other. A few simple steps now can make all the difference. Stay safe, everyone.